I picked up a handful of sand and slowly let it slip through my fingers. It felt strange, there wasn't even a breath of wind here. As I walked a little farther, I saw an old Soviet truck half buried in the sand. Judging by its condition, it had probably been lying there for at least 50 years, but what caught my attention was its tires. They were meant for normal roads, not for the desert. That's when a thought struck me, maybe there used to be a road here long ago. I started digging through the sand and soon I found a dead body. From the clothes, it was clear that it belonged to a European engineer. Nearby, I found a notebook and an expensive watch. The strangest thing was that even after 50 years, the watch was still ticking. A chill ran through me, something about this place felt wrong. I went over to the truck and tried to open the door, but it was jammed. I peered through the window and immediately stepped back in fear. The driver was dead, but there was something strange with him. When I looked closer, I saw an open box on the co-pilot's seat. My gut told me there was something dangerous inside that box. Maybe that's why the driver had been sealed in there to keep whatever it was from escaping. Still, I tried to convince myself that after so many years the seal must have broken and whatever was inside must have lost its power. Gathering my courage, I used my knife to pry the door open. Inside, the driver's bones were completely shattered. It was clear that whatever had attacked him was terrifyingly strong. As I pulled the driver remains out, I noticed a strange rope behind him. I tugged at it, only to realize too late that it was a grenade and the pin was already out. My heart jumped into my throat. Instinctively, I kicked it away with all my strength. The explosion that followed was massive. It threw me through the air. When I came to, my ears were ringing and the blast had uncovered several other buried trucks around us. From the wreckage, Luchai, who had been missing, appeared, dazed but alive. I rushed to help him regain consciousness. As we looked around, I began piecing things together. It seemed all these trucks had been trapped in a sandstorm decades ago. Maybe they'd tried to take shelter by forming a circle near the lake, but they didn't realize something far more dangerous than the storm lurked beneath this place. We decided to bury the dry, shriveled bodies we found nearby. Perhaps they were our own ancestors. Luchai called the grave the Lurin Monument, saying that the living should not mourn the dead. But when we returned later, the grave was gone, completely vanished. That could only mean one thing: someone or something else was here with us. I noticed small, snake-like tracks etched into the sand. Luchai, trembling, whispered, "These aren't made on the surface, they're from underneath." Before we could react, the sand below us began to move. I stabbed down hard, but it had no effect. The thing was too deep. We dug frantically, only to realize we'd been digging where we had buried the bodies, and now they were all gone. That's when we knew this place was cursed. The ground suddenly began to quake violently. My heart pounded as we ran for our lives. Then, out of nowhere, a massive tentacle burst out from behind and grabbed Wang Em, dragging him into the sand. I lunged to save him, but another one wrapped around me. I slashed with my knife, but it did nothing. Within seconds, I was pulled under the suffocating sand. I could hear Luchai screaming, but then another tendril whipped out and flung him far away. The last thing I saw before the sand closed over me was him trembling in terror, burying his head in the sand, hoping whatever it was wouldn't find him next. If you want more daily interesting stories like this, subscribe and hit the like button. I love and celebrate you.